Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. Well, we're looking at Revelation 16, and today we're in verse 17, where the seventh angel will pour out the seventh bowl of God's wrath upon the earth, the last bowl. And we read this in verse 17. Then the seventh angel poured out his bowl into the air, and a loud voice came out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, "It is done." And there were noises and thunderings and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such a mighty and great earthquake as had not occurred since men were on the earth. Now the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon was remembered before God to give her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Then every island fled away, and the mountains were not found, and great hail from heaven fell upon men, each hailstone about the weight of a talent. Men blasphemed God because of the plague of that hail, since that plague was exceedingly great. Well, the voice from heaven, it is done. The devil and his kingdom is about to be destroyed completely. He knows his time is short. And we see several things that happen here with this last plague that's poured out on the earth. His entire system is about to be judged. His religious system, the harlot, in Revelation 17 we'll see. His political and economic system in Revelation 18. And then his military system and the armies, as we've already really talked about, but we find it in Revelation 19. That great city, in verse 19, the great city was divided into three parts. That's no doubt the city of Jerusalem. Zechariah 14 prophesied that the topology of the city of Jerusalem would be changed when Jesus came back after that earthquake and he sets his foot on the Mount of Olives. The key idea also is Babylon is going to be judged, and as she takes the cup of the wine of the fierceness of God's wrath. And so then added to the earthquake, because it's a great earthquake like had never happened on the earth before. And by the way, I believe our next Pastor's Chat, I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about what I believe is going to happen with this earthquake, with the heat and the seven bowls of wrath that'll prepare the earth for the millennial reign of Jesus Christ. And I'll share that tomorrow. But today we're going to finish up these thoughts here. And so you see this earthquake when hailstones and men blaspheme God instead of repenting. Actually, three times in this chapter, in verse 9, they blasphemed the name of God because of the heat. And then in verse 11, they blasphemed God because of their pain and their sores, and they did not repent. And then this one last time we read, and they blasphemed God one last time here in verse 19. And my friend, because they blaspheme God and do not repent, their final judgment is happening. It is done. Now, when you look through these chapters that we've been looking at, chapter 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, you see that God's people on earth that are suffering are going to be encouraged, the Gentiles and the Jews. But even today, these are words of encouragement for us, because all through the ages of Christianity, Christians have suffered, no doubt. We've seen wars and rumors of wars. The beast has always been around, so to speak, plaguing the Christians. And my friend, we can be encouraged that every time we read these chapters, God sends judgment. He has the final word. He says, "It is done." And so we see that all these things have been happening over the ages, but here at the end, they'll accelerate and they will intensify, and it will all end with this great earthquake and the hailstones of fire that take place. And Babylon will be judged, the economic, the military, and also the government system, religious system of the Antichrist. And Jesus will set up his kingdom. My friend, it's just around the corner. I believe you can feel it in the air, especially what's taking place right now in our country with the Roe versus Wade decision being reversed in the results and the response of the liberals and the hatred, and people are blaming the Christians for all the problems that are taking place. You read about it in the major newspapers in the headlines. But my friend, that's okay. Jesus is still in charge. He's behind the scenes, and he has control of all these things. Well, God bless you, and I trust today you'll have a wonderful, wonderful Lord's Day.